Welcome to a Motor Matters exclusive, because this is a South African first. You may not recognize this name, JAC, but go to Uncle Google and check out the name JAC, because they just happen to be one of the largest truck manufacturers in China. And this is one of the first vehicles of theirs in South Africa. You may kind of recognize this body shape. It is fairly familiar. The cab forward design with a nice big front cab, and you've of course come to a very large rear buck. 1.3 tons, that's what it's rated to carry. Drop side on 3 sides, which is very useful to have when you're carrying heavy loads. And an unusual but pretty interesting rear step over here, which is pretty tough as well and gives you the ability to climb up into the rear as simply as that, and you can do what you want over there. So it's got all of these features. As I said, a little bit familiar looks wise, but so what, that doesn't matter. Engine wise, it's a 4-cylinder diesel, puts out just over 90 kilowatts and 240 newton meters of torque. So it's got the power to carry the load. It's got the tough suspension. It's got all of these things to be the workhorse you want it to be. Let's take a look inside. Inside the JAC X200, you'll see it is basic, yes, but it's a truck, so it needs to be basic. I mentioned the cab forward design, which means the engine's actually underneath your seat over here, so it gives you the maximum load space. It is built for 3 in front, but you also have a very substantial center console over here, which as soon as I work out how to fold it, you'll see has cup holders and has a nice storage area over here if you're not using it as a 3-seater. So very useful to have that as well. The cab protector behind us over here, again for load purposes, very, very useful. You take a look at the instrumentation and you'll see it's fairly basic, of course, but very clear, very legible, and gives you everything you want, everything you need. Maybe you have to wind your windows manually, but again, I don't think that's a hardship in today's world. You come across to the center console over here, and you'll see you do have air conditioning, which works fairly effectively. A little complaint I will have is that I found that this little knob for the temperature is perhaps a little bit wishy-washy and doesn't turn very nicely on me, but I'm being very picky over here. Your fan speeds. 5-speed manual gearbox over here, again, pretty effective. Nice and pretty light to use, so not truck-like as far as I'm concerned, and generally pretty useful as well. You'll see, obviously, very plastic on the dash, but everything really on a short 3 or so day test that I've done with this vehicle seems very well put together. Fit and finish are all very good, very effective, and it certainly feels like it's a well put together vehicle. And as I said, it is a fairly new vehicle. It's only got 1,400 kilometers on the clock, but I felt that it felt pretty solid. No rattles or no undue rattles and shakes. Obviously, you do get the diesel clatter from the engine, but that's can I call it a commercial type diesel engine? So that is again to be expected. I haven't been able to measure fuel consumption on this test, but JAC give a figure of 9.5 liters per 100, and I would guess that you should be able to make a figure like that. Driving wise, well, it's a truck type position and you sit sort of hunched over the steering wheel. You've got to get used to it, but I didn't find any issues with it. You can definitely fit 3 in the cab as well. Overall, this is a short test, I agree, and it's a fairly new vehicle, but it feels pretty good to me. A little bit more pull maybe in 2nd and 3rd gears would be nice, but on a highway or driving around town at 100 to 110, it certainly felt pretty solid on the road. Unfortunately, again, I didn't get a chance to test it with a load on it, but it felt to me, and it does feel to me, like it certainly will handle a load with no problems whatsoever. Of course, one of the crucial features on this vehicle is going to be price. And when I tell you it's coming in at a selling price of 230,000 Rand approximately, with air conditioning included, and you'll get various other extras as well. Warranties, etc. are included in the price, service plans, all those items included in the price. You'll see, like a lot of the Chinese launches, it's certainly coming in incredibly, incredibly competitively. I think this is something that needs a good look, watch out, keep an eye out, because they're going to be expanding the range into bigger trucks as well, because that's where JAC really are strong in the Chinese market. And I think this is a brand to be watched in the very near future. For Motor Matters, I'm Alan R, and I'll see you next time.